Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time here, you're very welcome. I am OJ. It is very nice to meet you. Please don't forget to subscribe. Like seriously, you should subscribe. Okay, I'm not promising you counterfeit content. When you come here, you get premium, period. Yeah, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming. What's going on? What's popping? All right, now let's get into today's video. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing the famous first time tag. Okay, this tag is where people come and answer a couple of questions about the first time they did this, the first time they did that, the first time this happened, and all of that, if you're not familiar with it. And if you're familiar with it, let's dive into this video. But before I dive in, I want to give a shout out to Gilda for giving me this video idea. Thank you very much. Okay, so now let's dive in. So the first question is first YouTube video. My first YouTube video was a get to know me video. It was get to know Ojima-Ojo. I'll put the video on the screen. I'll put the link in the description. The video is 3 years old currently. For a very long time, that was like my highest viewed video, but it's not anymore, and every time I watch that video I still cringe. So yeah, that was the first video I did on YouTube. First person you subscribe to on YouTube, it's quite difficult, but consciously the first person I subscribed to was Justin Uji. Justin Uji was even what basically opened me to the whole you can make money from YouTube, you can share your opinions about stuff and people would watch you. So Justin Uji consciously was the first person I subscribed to on YouTube. Do you still talk to your first love? Give me a moment. I need to think. Who was it? I don't want to give you guys my dad or the Holy Spirit or Jesus. I want to give you guys real stuff. But I don't know. I don't talk to him anymore. No, I don't. And I don't know even because first love, who dash him monkey banana? Jesus! What was this? So we are back. So the next question is, what was your first alcoholic drink? It has to be red wine, maybe Calorosi or something, because my dad is like, you know, you have to, anything that your eye is going to choke outside, you're going to see it in this house first. So there was that, so it's probably red wine. Next up, my first job ever was in 2020. Yeah, lockdown. I had this friend. They just assumed that, oh, since I was a content creator, then I was just creating on YouTube. Since I was a content creator, right, I could also manage pages, and I started doing social media. That was where social media management started from. And you guys, it ended badly. What was your first car? I don't have. Who was the first person you texted today? I texted my sister. Something crazy happened in my house, and I just needed to tell my sister about it, hear her opinion. Who was the first person I thought about this morning? It had to be Jesus, because I slept off praying and I just woke up with that vibe. You get? Who was your first teacher? I can't remember. Let me see. I can't remember my first teacher per se, but I remember my first maths teacher because he was the one that made me to hate maths. And hating maths has done a lot of things for me that are not good. His name was Mr. Joel. He was black, he was short, he had a kind of head that I cannot forget in my JS1. He made me to hate maths. I remember that man. When was your first ride on an airplane? It was to Lagos. I was in JS2. I was how old was I? I was 10. Yeah, it was on a school excursion. We're supposed to go from Abuja to Lagos, and then from Lagos to where we were going to. Who was your first best friend, and do you still talk? My first best friend was Deborah. That's her name, Deborah Alifa. And yes, we still talk. When was your first sleepover? Her house was my first sleepover. What was the first thing you do in the morning? To be honest, when I wake up, the first thing I do is actually to click on my phone to check what the time is. That's the first thing I do. Then after that, I wanna open an app. Okay, so let's switch. Next question is what do I keep saying was? The next question is, who was the first person who who cared about their own well-being than your own. I think it was my ex. Yes, it was my ex. Reasons being that, right, every time, you know, something is wrong and I want to talk, he doesn't want to talk because he's not in the mood. He does not like those type of conversations, right? And then if I eventually talk, this guy will ghost me for like 2 weeks. Hey God, every time I think about this thing, I'm like, wait, people should look at me, negodu, and somebody will ghost me for 2 weeks. You will ghost yourself. You will. Then I just think, I'm like, and I stayed. I stayed. But anyways, but yeah, that would be the first person that cared more about himself than me. Well, when was your first public speaking success? Okay, it wasn't anything big, but I had just started going to church with my sister, and that was when I was in 100 level, right? And you know, they called me on stage to talk about something. I didn't forget, it was smooth. I really can't remember. It's kind of like, you know, fading in my memory, but that was basically it. But since then, I've not had any speaking, like public speaking experience. Like I've not spoken in public since then, and it's something I actually look forward to, right? I actually look forward to it, and I feel like content creation is going to do that for me, maybe as a presenter, as a host, or something, honestly, or in a seminar. Yeah, in a seminar. But yeah, that's something I am looking forward to. What was the first thing you learned to cook? It was spaghetti. My elder sister was supposed to cook for the whole house, but she was busy, and I wanted to be, oh, let me help you. So I helped her, and I helped her cook spaghetti. That was basically it. What was your first paying job? My first paying job was this year, February this year, and that job taught me a lot. Let's just leave it like that. But yeah, it was this year as a community manager. It was this year. The first time I flew on a plane, I've answered that. When was the first time you moved houses? Oh my God, this was 11 years ago. We moved houses. We used to stay in Kubwa. If you're in Abuja, you know where Kubwa is. We stay in Kubwa, and then I stayed there for 10 years. I was raised in Kubwa. And then 10 years later, we moved. The first time I quit my job was this year, right after I came back from camp. I quit my job. I think I'd had enough, and I wanted my NYC year to be the year where I focus on YouTube, focus on my personal brand, and just, you know, enjoy I feel like this service year is the last year. I won't say it's the last year, but I still have a lot of luxuries this year. I don't know about next year. I just feel like my luxuries are good right now, and I can afford to do certain things. But after NYC, I'm not so sure about that. Do you get? When was the first time I realized I was good at my job? Okay, I'm about to do a mini confession. So for a very long time, I have not come to the realization that I am good at my job, right? I have gotten external social proof that I'm good at my job, especially beginning of this year when I was really consistent. This beginning of this year, consistency was on over the roof. Beginning of this year when I was really consistent, right? I used to get a lot of external social proof that my work was good. People would reach out, you know. I even had people like Princess Abdu in my comment section on YouTube, Precious Gaza, Salem I would do live videos with Salem, and Salem would tell me that he liked my Instagram stories, just things like that, right? And it used to make me very happy. But I think of recent, I have been looking for all these things make me happy, but I am looking for an internal validation, my own validation that my work is good. I want to feel like my work is good without anybody having to tell me that. That's what I'm looking for, and I've not gotten that because you guys have been struggling with comparison and imposter syndrome for a very, very long time. It became really serious this year, and I think that that's something that is stopping me from, you know, feeling all of that. But I'm not sure people ask for this long story, but that's it. What was your first regrettable hairstyle? my first regrettable hairstyle. Would you guys believe that I was on low cut? Yes, I used to be on low cut before. My dad used to force me that I didn't have to, grow my hair. I used to be on low cut. So there was a time he made us shave everything off our heads. I don't have any picture of that, but I'll put a picture of me on low cut on the screen. Like, this man made me shave everything on my head. Okay, I had to lie in my SS1 when I changed school that they said no girl must carry low cut. That was how I started growing my hair back. But I was on low cut from my JS1 to my JS3. How old were you when you first left home? I would say I would give 2. I was 10 when I first left home. I went for a school excursion to Togo. I was 10. That was the first time. But I was 16 when I went to write post-UME or exam for my school, Lead City. I was 16. Lead City, I be Covenant. It was Covenant. Oh yes, I wrote exam for Covenant. When I went to write exam for Covenant University, that was the first time I left, my house alone by myself. I keep opening this phone. You should forgive me. When was the first time you caught class? I think it had to be in my 200 or 300 level when I was sure that my CGPA was not moving, right? Then I started doing bad gay. I'm not going to class because, anyhow, we had not graduated. Like, nothing can really harm the CGPA. I think it was 300 level. A lot. It was 300 level. How old were you when you had your first kiss? I was 15. Yeah, I was 15. I was the side chick. It was after I just finished writing Neko, my second Neko. Like the second time I wrote Neko, yeah. It was after I finished writing Neko. So yeah, I was 15. Yeah, so that's what this space is saying. So now let's go back. Your first heartbreak. My first heartbreak was in 2017. I was dating my ex, and it was just 9 months into the relationship. And I think some days to my birthday, he came, we hung out and everything, and we were supposed to go out for my birthday. But something happened, he had to travel back because he was not based in Abuja, so he had to go back to where he was based. And I thought he was coming back, right? Actually, this boy was not coming back. He didn't call me the first day, he didn't call the second day, he didn't call the third day. Third day, by the time he would call me, he was like, we need to talk. And my instincts, over the years, there is something I've understood, is my instincts are always right. On the third, before he called me, I knew that something was wrong. Immediately he said, we need to talk. I said, oh, it's off. It's finished. Nothing is remaining again. And he's like, we need, I'm like, break up where? Break up for what? That I don't know him. You know that stupid card that they used to play? And the funny thing was, I was just 16. That I don't know him. He can't show me the real him. Hey, mommy. I can't remember what my reaction was like, but I know I cried. And then my elder sister, she came in. My immediate elder sister, the one I did the sister tag with. If you have not seen it, I'll plug you. Okay? She came in to where I was crying. It was even here. It was here I was crying. And then she was like, why are you crying? And I'm like, he just broke up with me. My sister laughed me in my face and told me, she told me, you never even finish the cry, continue the cry. That was what my sister told me, because she explicitly warned me. But yeah, basically that was how that went. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of this video. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments what was your favorite part. Let me know in the comments. If you have not subscribed, how far? How are we going to have this conversation now? You are not paying money. Please click the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Okay, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.